Hello, viewers of the National Television. Welcome to this English news edition. I'm Fabian. Yonizigia here. Top stories. President Evariste Ndayishimiye officially introduced the new administrator of Nyanza commune and at the same time reiterated the importance of preserving the gains of peace. And the Vice President Prosperi Bazombanza visited the cotton management company Cogereco Novas. Among the main challenges raised by the company were staff shortage resulting from unfilled vacancies and up-to-date equipment and the buildings. Welcome once more. President of the Republic presents the new administrator of Nyanza commune in Burunga province on first day. President Evariste Ndayishimiye officially presented Diomede Dusengimana, the new administrator on this strategic commune. During the ceremony, the president emphasized the importance of preserving the gains of peace, particularly security and national unity. Martin Nivyabandi, the National Secretary in charge of development for the ruling party, urged party members to become more involved in the country's development projects. He also invited them to contribute to the construction of housing for veterans. This took place during the monthly prayer service held at ruling party's national headquarters. Details with Evariste Nyonguru.
Those were songs of thanksgiving to God during an interfaith religious service held at the CNDD-FDD political party headquarters in Ngagara, Nangwa municipality. The event was held under the theme, "The heroes of Burundi did not fear war, and we have no reason to shy away from the wall of nation building." Pastor Innocent Nibigila delivered the main message drawn from the book of Nehemiah, chapter 4, verses 1 to 19, illustrating how Nehemiah and his companions rebuilt the wall of Jerusalem with vigilance, aware of enemies who opposed the city's restoration. He emphasized that leaders of the CNDD-FDD political party should also build with caution. He stated that the heroes prioritized the interests of the nation, and it is impossible to build a country without putting the well-being of others first. He also reminded the party leaders that it is God who brings success, stressing that if they trust in Him, their plans for national development will be fulfilled. The service was meant to thank God for the past month and dedicated to the upcoming month of November to Him. It concluded with words of encouragement to the party members. Abagumyabanga, the secretary of the CNDD's National Development Planning Department, Martin Nivyabandi, in his speech, called on members to contribute to the construction of houses for former fighters. He wished them a November filled with positive outcomes.
And the same prayer was held in Gitega. George Nshimirimana, provincial secretary of the ruling party, encouraged those present to engage in daily development actions in order to contribute to the realization of the national vision of developed Burundi by 2060. As I said, Vice President Prosperi Bazombanza visited the cotton management company Cogereco French acronym this first day. Among the main challenges raised by the company were staff shortage resulting from unfilled vacancies and out-of-date equipment and the buildings. Details
conducted by the Vice President of the Republic of Burundi, Prosperi Bazombanza, to the company Cogereco, which manages cotton production in Burundi, was a part of an effort to assess the current state of the company, which has been active in the cotton sector since 1947. During the visit, it was observed that the company is facing numerous challenges, including aging infrastructure, obsolete equipment, and a shortage of agricultural inputs such as fertilizers, seeds, and phytosanitary products. Although Cogereco possesses vast cotton fields, these challenges hinder optimal production. For the current season, the company expects a yield of over 18,000 tons from approximately 3,000 hectares of cultivated land. Among the pressing needs expressed by the company are the establishment of a fixed purchase price for cotton by the state and increased support to access essential agricultural imports. Additional challenges facing the company include the impact of climate change, limited transport means to reach the cotton producers, and a continued decline in staff numbers due to insufficient financial resources to recruit and remunerate replacements. The General Director of Cogelco appealed to the government to allocate agricultural land located in the region stable for cotton cultivation. In a response, Vice President of the Republic of Burundi, Prosperi Bazombanza, emphasized that overcoming these challenges will require synergy of efforts, increased production, and a strong commitment to diligent work. He highlighted that this is the path toward generating the foreign currency necessary for the country's economic development. He urged the company to continue maintaining its existing equipment while awaiting replacements, which require significant investment, and stressed the importance of properly supporting and supervising cotton producers.
On Wednesday, the National Assembly met under the chairmanship of Daniel Shirazi to examine the performance and the budget execution reports for the third and the fourth quarters of the 2024-25. The Minister of Finance, Alain Dikumana, was invited to this session to answer questions from members of Parliament on the implementation of the budget and the management of public resources. Jackson Ilakoze for more details.
This parliamentary session, the minister in charge of the state budget came to provide a clarification to the members of Parliament regarding the use of public funds during the third and fourth quarters of the 2024-2025 fiscal year. He outlined the challenges encountered so they can be addressed, while also presenting how the mobilized resources were utilized and the added value they brought to various ministries. The minister indicated that the revenues collected in the third quarter amounted to just over 695 billion Burundian francs out of the 718 billion expected, representing a performance rate of 96.7%. Among the obstacles that caused discrepancies were tax exemptions, the distribution of electronic billing machines, unpaid tax arrears, and the renting of public buildings at outdated rates. Regarding the third quarter expenditures, the minister explained that they exceeded the initial projection. For the fourth quarter, it was projected to collect 655 billion Burundian francs, but actual revenue reached 695 billion Burundian francs. Following the presentation, MPs raised several concerns, notably the renting of state-owned houses where the collected funds do not reach, the excessive consumption of alcoholic beverages by the population, and the unfair competition posed by imported drinks against locally produced beverages from Burundi. Other irregularities were also identified. In response, the minister assured that follow-ups are underway to find appropriate solutions and called upon the security services to support efforts in addressing some of these issues. He further stated that certain policies such as free health care for pregnant women and children under 5, the distribution of chemical fertilizers and selected seeds should be reassessed as they require significant budget allocation, and the financial figures presented by hospitals are not always transparent. The President of the National Assembly urged public fund managers to adopt a new mindset and work collaboratively to promote national development. Finally, the minister concluded by stating that his ministry is now implementing a new program-based budgeting approach aligned with the national planning framework, which is expected to enhance the management of public funds mobilized by the state.
And the National Assembly unanimously adopted this Thursday the amendments proposed by the Senate on 4 draft laws. The first draft concerns a framework agreement between the state of Burundi and the Principality of Monaco in France. The second involves an agreement between Burundi and Vietnam. The other two draft law related to agreements between Burundi and Angola, one on diplomatic consultations and the other on economic, scientific, technical and cultural cooperation between the government of the Republic of Angola and the government of the Republic of Burundi. In the Agenda Environment Chronicle that we present every Thursday, we revisit Joint Ministerial Ordinance of October 9, 2025, which amends the Joint Ministerial Ordinance of August 2025 concerning the establishment of fines imposed on offenders violating these structures. Details with Maris Muhigwe.
Urinates or defecates outside the designated facilities or throws papers, plastic packaging or other waste or spits in the public places and the public transport shall be liable to a fine of 5,000 Burundian francs. The same fine applies to persons who allow wastewater or kitchen water to be discharged into public drains, streets or public areas. Article 3 provides that a fine of 50,000 Burundian francs shall be imposed on anyone who buries excrement, dumps garbage, scrap metals, wrecks, rubble, discharges toilet water, grease or used oil, flows animal carcasses or disposes of any kind of waste into drains, public roads, private or no private lands located in urban areas or on river banks, ponds, rivers, lakes and marshes. Any operator of a place where many people gather, such as bars, restaurants, nightclubs, places of worship, markets or health facilities, who does not have decent sanitation facilities shall be liable to a fine of 100,000 Burundian francs as stipulated in Article 4 of this ordinance. As for Article 5, any owner or occupant of a property adjoining a public road is required to ensure cleanliness and the maintenance of the immediate surroundings of the property under penalty of a fine of 50,000 Burundian francs in urban areas and 2,000 Burundian francs in rural areas. Article 6 stated that industrial, artisanal and commercial establishments and their surroundings must be kept clean. Paragraph 2 of this article stipulates that under penalty of a fine of 500,000 Burundian francs, it is forbidden to discharge waste or wastewater directly into nature and especially into rivers, lakes, ponds and marshes. According to Article 7, any person who smokes in public spaces or exposes others to tobacco smoke shall be liable to a fine of 100,000 Burundian francs. Hygiene officers and the administration are responsible for issuing fines against offenders who have a period of 5 calendar days to pay the fine. Failing to do so, resulting a 2% surcharge on the amount due. The fines provided for in this ordinance shall be paid to the account of the Burundi Revenue Authority opened in various financial institutions.
Well, end of this news edition. Thank you for being with us. Keep watching our programs. Bye-bye.